Sup, boys? We're back again. JB's College Hockey Gambling Show. I am Big Nacho, JB and Quays. Boys, how you doing this week?
Doing great.
Excellent.
Do you know who didn't have a good week?
You didn't.
Fat Nate.
That's okay, because if you don't have a good week, it means you win them all the next. That's what I've said the last 2 weeks, and it hasn't won. So, I'm going to lose them all this week. JB, where did we go wrong? Or where did you go right? You're up by a lot.
I've just been taking smart picks. You should just copy me.
Copy you. Well, maybe this week I will. We'll see. Quays, you've rolled back here a lot recently.
Yeah,
You want some drugs?
Yeah.
Ayahuasca?
Yeah. No, I'm not an ayahuasca guy. I hate Aaron Rodgers. He is a fucking loser.
Oh! Yeah, how about them, Paco? No, Packers suck. Aaron Rodgers, you drug fucking addict. Get out of our fucking house. Okay. JB, we got some good games this week. We only have 4, unlike our normal. There wasn't a lot on DraftKings this week. And the lines are kind of shifty-wifty, if you ask me. I don't know. Should we get into it? Let's get into it right away. Ready? Boom. We're doing Michigan State at Penn State this weekend, Friday night. Penn State, -1.5. Over-under is 5.5. JB, you've been killing it. Let's start with you. What do you see in this game?
You know, Penn State just beat the number 1 ranked team back-to-back weeks.
Okay.
I think they're just going to keep rolling. That's why I'm taking Penn State -1.5. And they have the lines over/under 5.5 for all these games.
That sucks.
I hate it because it could I don't like it. But for this game, I'm taking bold, and I'm going under 5.5 goals for this game.
Okay. Quays, before you start, look, a year ago right now, this would have been the dumpster bowl.
Yep.
Michigan State and Penn State basically bottom of the Big Ten, even behind Wisconsin last year.
That's hard to do.
It is, and yeah, that's just disgusting, honestly. If there's one thing for me that it looks really weird, because Michigan State, they've had a good couple of weeks against, Ohio State, and I believe it was Wisconsin.
I think they're frauds.
I think that these lines, they're kind of favoring MSU a little bit more than they should be. I'm also taking Penn State -1.5. But one thing that scares me is the power play of Penn State. Guess what their power play percentage is? Anyone? 11%. That is terrible. 11% power play, and Michigan State is one of the best penalty kills at 87%. So I'm also taking the under. I don't see a lot going on here. I think Penn State is going to play some good defense. Solier has been outstanding in that, especially last year. He's in Minnesota. He played outstanding for some of those shots that came his way. So I don't think Michigan's going to be able to get by him very well. And I think Penn State will win, 3-1, 3-0 Friday night. That's the way I see it. So I'm also taking the under if I did not say that.
Like I said earlier,
Same as JB. I have his picks.
Michigan State, frauds. So I'm going to go with Penn State money line, and I'm also going with Penn State -1.5. Penn State, easy wins this weekend. Like JB said, last 2 weekends they beat the number 1 ranked team. So Michigan State should be an easy matchup for them.
I think so too. They played outstanding this year. They're real. They're 10-1.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. These odds aren't looking.
They
No.
lost.
10-1.
Who?
Michigan?
They lost to Michigan.
Shit. 10-2. Who cares? Close enough. Next, we move into the NCHC. St. Cloud State this week going to Colorado College. JB, how do you think the air and legalized marijuana is going to affect the series?
St. Cloud, they've already played against Denver. They've already been there once.
So they've already been drugged?
So I think they'd be used to it by now.
So you think they're acclimated too? I mean, if you go back-to-back, you might as well just stay out there and get used to that air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You think that? So if they come here, do you think that impacts them anyway?
Oh, St. Cloud would easily wipe them more.
Well, because they can't have weed.
Yeah.
They drug their
Colorado
players.
College.
They drug their players. Yeah, and Colorado College has been terrible. Okay, but this year they haven't looked great. And again, JB, you were talking. You don't like the lines for this game. Explain that.
Looking at St. Cloud, what their money line was -210.
Mm-hmm.
But the -1.5 for St. Cloud was even. I don't know. It seemed a little fishy, but I'm still riding with that.
Okay. What are you hitting? SCSU -1.5?
SCSU -1.5 for this game.
Okay. And
I think the high altitude, their boys are used to the drugs now. I'm taking the over 5.5 for this game.
Okay.
I'm assuming Castor, he'll let 2-3 in, but St. Cloud will probably win this game 6-2.
I like that.
I guess.
I like that. Like you mentioned, the lines seem very close for a series like this, even though it's in Colorado. Colorado, sure they beat Duluth. You're sure they beat Miami. This year, those teams are not very good. Okay, let's just lay it out flat and simple. I still don't think the people who make these odds know anything about college hockey. Because if they would, they know St. Cloud's a top 10 team, and Colorado College, they're just not very good. I'm taking SCSU minus 1.5 as well. And the over-under, this one really gets me in the gut. Because I don't know, 5.5, the way SCSU's goalies have been playing, Castor, he's been a little bit shaky. He was last week. You can't really blame that all on him. But I'm taking the under 5.5. I think St. Cloud is probably going to dominate. And I think Grant Kirkshake's getting a hat trick here. This is hat trick weekend.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
I agree with you, boys. I think St. Cloud's going to go in there and dominate CC. So I'm going St. Cloud money line, and I am also taking the under 5.5 goals. I think Castor won't let very many in, and St. Cloud will score 3 goals. So.
Interesting. JB, we now head to the Hockey East, which has been a very contested conference so far this year. Very weird. We have 2 teams, one coming off a crazy sweep against UMass, and another who's been kind of slacking compared to what people thought they would be this year, Northeastern.
Mm-hmm.
Northeastern, BU minus 1.5, over under 5.5. Quays, what are you looking at in this series?
This is going to be a fun one to watch. Big Hockey East matchup. I believe Aiden McDonough, he is suspended.
He's sussy.
Suspended.
Friday night he's gone.
So that really makes me want to take it. I'm going BU money line.
Wow.
And I'm
Okay.
also going over 5.5.
Over.
BU scored a ton of goals last weekend, so they're going to do it again against Northeastern.
I think this is a bait over pick.
Yeah.
I think this is a very good defensive matchup, especially with Aiden McDonough, the number 1 goal scorer last year of returning players, I should say. He's out. And Devin Levi, one of the best goaltenders in college hockey, in net, I have to take this under. I don't know. BU, obviously, they've been putting up a lot of goals this year. I don't know what the average is, but it's probably over 4. They scored 7 in Game 2 last week versus UMass, and I know they were putting up numbers this year. I'm still taking the under, though. And Northeastern, like I said, they've had a rough start. People thought they made it. They almost beat Western. They lost in overtime last year in the tournament. I don't know. They thought they could come back. They had a lot of guys coming back, picked up a few, and they just haven't been producing so far. I believe they're 3-3. They're still number 3 in the Hockey East right now in points, but I'm taking Northeastern money line. I think this is the week they turn it around because it's still early, and it's not like they have to turn much around. Just turn around the puck and make it go the other way.
Thank you.
JB, what do you have?
I'm taking Ryan on the first part. I'm taking BU money line, but I'm also agreeing with you on the under for this game. I think it will be a defensive game.
I do too.
I think it will be 2-1 game, 3-2 game. I don't see it being very high scoring.
Finally, our last game, our 4th game this week, we wrap it all the way back into the Big Ten. Notre Dame at Ohio State. Ohio State's been struggling as of recent. They were ranked pretty high earlier this year, and last week they got swept by Michigan State. Not a good look, Ohio. And Notre Dame, they did not start off very well either. Last week, they took a split with the number 1 ranked team from 2 weeks ago in Michigan. Were they last? They were number 1. No, that was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, they were number 1. That's right. So Michigan still. Who cares? It's Dame. It's Dame's time. You want? I'll go first.
Okay.
Dame money line
Interesting.
is the play. It's in Ohio. I think these 2 teams will keep it close. I don't think Notre Dame is bad as some of their games have shown. I think they can actually put it together here. They still got Bischel in net. He played really good last year towards the end. He's just got to turn it around a little bit. The team needs to find some offense, and they can get the job done. Like I said, I think it's going to be a really close game. I'm going to say 6-5 Dame, and I'm taking the over as well. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game just because of the goaltending struggles both these teams have had. It's that easy.
Yeah. I agree with Nate here. I think Dame has Ohio State's number. I'm going Dame plus 1.5, and I'm also going over 5.5 goals.
Okay, you're really sending it out there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, plus 1.5. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think it's Ohio State's week. I think they're going to beat Dame Friday night. But I'm going to agree with you guys on the over.
Mm-hmm.
Over 5.5. I think it might be 6-5 Ohio State.
Oh, jeez. Come on.
Wow.
That smells like poop. I don't know. Yeah. Dame. I wish I had the Dame J on. I don't. It's downstairs. Wore it out last Thursday. Didn't wear it home. Let's just say that. JB, I think that about wraps it up this week. Does it not? What tell the people what they want to hear.
Make sure to follow my picks. I'm number 1 between these two. Don't follow Nate's. He's last. Maybe follow Ryan. He's in second. A couple games behind. Let's make some money this weekend. Hit that like button and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Ha-ha!